Hey, all my crafty friends, good afternoon. I am on, again, not at my regular time. We'll see if I ever get back on a regular schedule. Summer is just throwing me off. It seems like the mornings are busier. This morning got up a little late. It was already like 85 degrees out. Went out and did a little stuff in the garden. By the time I got in, it was already 9:30. I hadn't prepped for my card. I had to take a shower. So, afternoon it is. It is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025, and I am so happy to spend a little bit of my day with you. My birthday was great, by the way. So many wishes from all of you. Thank you so much. So much celebrating. I am truly blessed. It was wonderful. But as you can see, I did not, that was probably not smart, did not get my hair cut. The day I was supposed to get a cut, I was on here, and after, I think I was on here. Was it the same day? I think so. Anyway, I got a call from the salon that the lady who was going to do my hair had a death in the family. And so I could reschedule with someone else, or cancel or reschedule with her. She comes highly recommended, like I said, to help me shape this mop of hair for my face. So I decided to reschedule. So I'm going to see her on Friday afternoon. Now, full disclosure, it scares me a little bit because this is the second time since we've lived here in Tennessee that I haven't gone to my normal little cheapo place that just cuts my hair and I go home. You know, it's a nothing. 2 times. Oh, I was gone for a second. Hopefully I am back. It said trying to reconnect, so that was weird. Anyway, the first lady I was going to see had a death in the family and had to cancel. And then I never went to her. And now I did this and this happened. So I don't think it's my fault. I don't think I have that much power over God or the universe, but it's just kind of weird, huh? So we'll see what she does Friday afternoon with my hair. Wish me luck. I just need something that's easy to take care of, that I like, and that works for my face, because look at how this is hanging down. And I don't like that so much. Okay, my name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 28 years now, and I love what I do. I am here to help you find the joy of card making and paper crafting, to give you tips and tricks to make that easier and more fun for you, and to encourage you to send out all of your beautiful creations to others. The goal is to eradicate loneliness one card at a time. Be sure to give me a hello in the comments so I know you stopped by. I'm not seeing any comments, but it's showing that 4 people are watching. So I'm thinking I'm up and running. I am going to just reload my Facebook page and make sure that I can find me, since nothing's coming up here. Sometimes there's a delay, and that's probably what's going on. Oh, I am up, and it looks like it's delayed on there, so that is what it is. But let me know you stopped by, leave your comments, and if you're watching later on the replay, let me know that too. As always, I will be giving away the card that we make today, so all of your comments will be entered for a chance to win that. Each comment counts as 1 entry. If you can share my video to a small group, a crafty friend, another crafty group, to wherever you'd like to share me, let me know if you do that, and I will give you a bonus entry toward today's card. And congratulations to the winner of my last card, Debbie Lyons. Thank you for watching and commenting and updating your address with me. I really appreciated that, and your card is on its way. Yeah, let's get down to the table and see what's going on today. There's my outside. Here we are down on the table. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. The blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/Crazy Stamping Lady. My YouTube is under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. Stampin' Up! Has a rewards program that is fantastic. For every order of at least $20 that you put in online, you will automatically receive 10% back in rewards on a future purchase. Those rewards are redeemable up for a year. You can accumulate them for something big, or you can use them the very next time that you go on, whatever works for you. Just be sure to get your account at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net, and when you're there, make sure you opt in to get the rewards program benefits. That's very important. And also, since we are in the middle of the month where I'm going to be sending out catalogs soon, make sure you are opted in to get notifications from me, to get emails from me and updates. If you are opted out, I cannot send a catalog to you, and I will send a catalog to each and every person who has ordered from me in the last 6 months, as long as they are opted in. So please, please go in, double check your account, look in your profile, and make sure you're opted in to receive information from me. Okay, cards. I have cards to share. Oh, and I piled stuff on top of them. That's not what I usually do. It's a little out of order. Hang on, guys. I have cards to share. So, my very first card here is from my friend here in Murfreesboro, Carol Tessmer. And look at this adorable card. It's got all these candles on the cake, this goofy little doggy here, and it says, "At least you're not as old as you'll be next year." I love it. Happy birthday. It is a cute, cute, cute little card, and only a good friend can send a card like that, right? That is adorable. Thank you so much, Carol, for thinking of me and sending that. And we're going to have lunch this week, so I can't wait. That'll be a lot of fun. My next card is from my friend Joanne in Arizona, and it's another fun fold card with the beautiful little birdies here. It's one of those tri-fold ones. And you open it up and it says, "Wishing you every happiness this special day will bring." Look how pretty that is. And then open it up again and happy birthday. So, so cute. It's almost like reading a little book as you go through it. I love it. Thank you so much, Joanne. That is a beautiful card. My next card is from my friend Jenny in Prescott, Arizona, or Prescott Valley, I guess. And look at this. She did a scrappy card, but she put the white in between each one of the scrap layers. Look how beautiful that looks. That really sets it off. Let's celebrate with some cute little embellishments. Adorable. And inside she foiled it, it looks like. So very nice. And it was a fantastic birthday, Jenny. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And you'll see on her card, I think it was where it was, it looks like it got dirt or something on it. The card envelope was pretty torn up when I got it, and I think that's how that happened. You can see it right here. I don't know what happened in the mail, but I think our postman was maybe sleeping on the job. I'm not sure. So the card, she made it, did not have that. That got on there afterwards in the mail. My next card is from my friend Cheryl Jackson. Cheryl, you might be on here. You watch so faithfully. You are such a sweetheart. And she made me this beautiful hello friend. I love these like mother of pearl pearls she put on here with all the sea images, and then stuck a cute little note in here. Ooh, and I even got a bonus piece of paper. Thank you. I don't think you meant to do that, but I'll use it. I love it, so that I can reuse and send this card. Much appreciated, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful card. Then I want to share this. This is not a handmade card, but it is handwritten, and this was from my great nephew who just graduated from high school, and we sent him a gift, and he sent me a thank you note, and it meant the world to me. I mean, he's just a young man, and I don't get a lot of thank you notes from anyone, from wedding gifts when I send them anymore, from graduation gifts, from birthday gifts. Normally they'll just text me or something, but he actually sent a card. So Owen, thank you so much. That card meant the world to me. And then my final one to share is from my upline in Stampin' Up. And it uses a flip flap. So these are the brand new little flip flaps that you can get to use in scrapbooking that we sell. And she made it on a card with this cute little insert. And then the card underneath it where you can write. And this was sent to me. It's a single layer card other than that because of the depth of these pieces on here. But these little flip flaps are adorable, and I've been using them for different things too, and I think I will be doing a card on here soon with that because I love that look. What a cute card. And this was just a congratulations for being in her top 30 demonstrators this past month, I guess. Was it this month? Yeah, or it was a month of May. Yeah, so very, very sweet of her to think of me. Adorable little card. Thank you, Jill, for sending that. Okay, that's my cards. Moving on. Free card class. Every month I offer a free card class to those who purchase from me at the level of at least $50 or more. Well, actually, the card's available to the class is available to everyone. But the kits that you get to put together are 3 card kits with a $50 order, 3 card kits plus a bonus project with a $75 order, and 3 card kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment at a $100 order level. Every single order that is smaller than the $50 level will receive a handmade card from me as a thank you, and all orders, every one of them, no matter how big or small, are entered into my monthly prize drawing. The August class kits will be sent out early August, and the class will be on Monday, August 18th at 11 o'clock in the morning. I mentioned before it's a little later in the month than usual month, so this worked out better for me. And it's still my birthday month, guys. We are still in the month of July. So for every $100 in orders you place with me this month, you get to pick a free glue of your choice. It says, I'm stuck on you, so I'm giving you glue. I don't know if you can see that on screen, but I thought it was clever. I'm so clever. Anyway, at a $100 level, you can pick one of these 9 glues. At $200, you could pick 2. At $300, you could pick 3. And they will come to you in a cute little zippered bag with a sweet thank you tag, just as a thank you for being my customer and supporting me. And it's my birthday gift to you. Now, these orders are cumulative. Most orders with anything we do are not cumulative. It's the individual order. But for this one, at the end of the month, I will add up all of your orders in the month, and then I will email you or message you or text you, somehow get a hold of you, and let you pick which of these 9 adhesives you want for your gift or gifts. So, yay to that. And then a big announcement yesterday. We just found out that there is going to be 3 days of free shipping on $75 orders. So this begins tomorrow, the 23rd, and goes through Friday, the 25th. Any $75 order will receive free shipping. Please shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net to get that. But I do want to mention, if you have rewards, if you placed a $75 order and then redeemed $25 in rewards, it would not count for this because your order would really only then be $50. So this has to be before shipping and handling and tax, and after you redeem your reward amount, it still has to come to $75. So just be aware of that. I don't want anyone being disappointed or upset about that. So, yay, good deal. Free shipping. It'll help you qualify for my card kit. It'll help you qualify for my birthday special. So all of that is good. So today we're going to do a technique. It is Tuesday, so I thought, why not a technique Tuesday? This is the recipe for my card, and I will bring it back out at the end with the card if you want to take a picture of what we did today. And we're going to start out with the technique. Because it's a little messy and I want to be able to clean up this area when I'm done. So this is called faux watercoloring. And all that means is I'm really not going to watercolor, but I am going to get a little bit of that watercolor look on my card. So let me grab a few of my things here. The set we're using for this is the Impressions Abloom set. And it is a 2-step stamp, so you stamp one color and then a color over it, one color and a color over it to get a lot of depth in your images. Today I'm not going to do that. The images I'm using are going to be just either the line one or the bold one, just because the watercolor is going to give us a lot of depth. But this is a beautiful set, so it's kind of fun to play with for this. I think it'll work out great. And we're going to grab some flowers. So I am using the bold daisy type flower, the lined image of this larger flower, which I do not know what it is. I'm going to use Timid Tiger for the center of one of the flowers. and pecan pie for the center of the other. And then we're going to add some leaves with shy shamrock. So I got a lot of inks going on here today. And I'm going to grab my spritzer. This is my Stampin' Spritzer. It is filled just with water. And this is what's going to make our colors blend and give us that faux watercolor look. So let's get going. I'm just going to use this piece of basic white cardstock. This is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'm going to start with my strawberry slush. And we're just going to add a couple flowers on here. So I'm going to put one up in this corner, one down here on this corner. And yes, I am going off onto my mat, but I'll clean that up. I told you it's going to be messy. It's going to be messy. I'm going to put a partial one down over here. And I'm going to turn this and do this side of this up here, just like that. And then I'm going to set this aside and grab my Kleenex and just wipe up some of that excess. I'm not worried about getting it perfect yet, but just so I don't get too much of a smudge. Then we're going to use the more bold daisy. No reason for it, I just wanted to try it. Those seem to go well together. This is Daffodil Delight. So I wanted some bright, pretty colors on here. And I'm going to come in here and add a daisy. And it kind of overlaps my other flower. I don't care about that at all. I think that is fine. We're going to do the same thing down here. And I think I'm going to stop there because I want a little bit of an open place here for a sentiment. Wipe off that excess yellow. Then I'm going to use my orange, my Timid Tiger. And we're going to come in here and put that in the middle of these flowers. I'm going to put the orange in the middle of the pink flowers. Oh, but that one doesn't even need one, so done with that. And we're going to use the pecan for the middle of the yellow flowers. I know, so far this is just stamping, guys. Trust me, there is a technique with this. Bear with me. We will get there, I promise. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add a couple leaves. For the leaf, I'm also using just the liney kind of image, not the bold image. We're going to add a few leaves to this. So let's add a leaf up here and a leaf coming off the side here. And then maybe one down here to get some green in that area. Okay, so there, oh, that was great. Wait till I wipe this off, guys, because that will make a mess. In fact, I think my thumb is probably now stained green, which it is a little bit, but hopefully that won't come off on anything. Wow. Don't hit your ink pad with your thumb because that is what happens. So we're going to put these up here for now. So this is how this looks, and it is beautiful the way it is. But to get the full watercolor look, I'm going to take my spritzer, and I'm just going to spritz this cardstock on top of all of those flowers. Okay? And then I'm going to give that water just a minute to kind of make those blend out a little bit. Now, if I wanted them really watercolory looked, you can spritz your cardstock before you stamp them. And then your ink will start to blend immediately. In fact, I think I have a sample. Do I have one like that, or did I throw it? I might have thrown it away. This was when I was playing. The problem is sometimes it gets too much more out of my control, and I didn't like that look as well, so I threw this one away. But here you can see now how that water has just kind of spread out those flowers, softened the look of them up a little bit, and giving you that watercolor kind of look to these flowers. Now at this point, to do anything more with your card, you would need to dry it. And you could take it and set it aside and air dry it, or you could use your heat tool to speed that up. But it does take a while. This is pretty wet cardstock. You can see how it made it bleed through the back. It's pretty wet right now. So I did a different one, very similar ahead of time, and I'm just going to set this one aside and let it dry. And we're going to play with the one I did ahead of time and already dried up. Okay. So here's the one I did earlier today, and I let it air dry. I did set some books on top of it to kind of make it flat, but watercoloring always kind of ripples your Whisper White cardstock. Now you could do this on watercolor paper too if you wanted, but I just wanted to use my regular old, not Whisper White. Did I say Whisper White? Wow. Basic white cardstock. It's been a long time since. And we're going to stamp again. So I'm going to use my strawberry slush, and I'm going to ink up my flowers again, and I'm going to stamp them over the flowers that were there. And guys, I am not going to worry about making sure my flower goes the same way. I'm just not. Because by the time I figure that all out and line it up, it's just not fun anymore. So we're not worried about that at all. We're just re-stamping these over the top so that background part of the flower, I'm just kind of lining up my center here, becomes the watercolor part of the flower, if that makes sense. I'm hoping you can see how that looks and how it changes as I stamp these. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I just love this look. I was playing with this for a few days and making a few cards. I'll show you 2 other ones at the end, but I think it's so pretty. So now those flowers have a real distinct look on that paper. I'm also going to stamp my sentiment, so I'm using a thanks. This comes right from the Impressions Abloom set right here. I'm using that thanks because it is a nice little thanks. And we're going to stamp this up here onto my card, just like that. I did that after washing it or getting it wet and drying it because I didn't want the thanks to blend on there. Next, we're going to take, where's my yellow? Here it is, my daffodil. We're going to do the same thing with our daisies. And again, I'm not going to line them up because I want that other yellow to kind of show behind it in spots. So I'm going to put these on here, but not worried about lining up anything but the center. And I still have that watercolor wash on the background there. Oh, I love it. You can actually see on here in the centers where some of the Timid Tiger and the pink blended together and became like a peachy orange. So that's kind of cool too. Now we're going to re-add our centers just to make them a little more distinct on here on the center of these flowers. Again, not worrying about perfection. This is kind of that watercolor look, which is never going to be perfect, and it's going to be different every time you do it. But I think it's beautiful. It's a wonderful look to add a little character. And I love watercoloring. I don't always have the patience for it, but I certainly love that look. I'm going to add some pecan to the center of our daisies. Brighten them up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my shamrock and redo my leaves a little bit. And that's it, guys. I'm not going to worry anymore about perfection on here. That is the way this came together, and I think it is beautiful. Now I want to add, just in that whole watercolor theme, I want to add some splatters to the back of this. So I'm going to take my Timid Tiger marker, and using the brush end, I'm just going to flick that end against the cap of the marker. Now this works actually with blends or regular Stampin' Write markers. And I don't know if you can see them on there or not, but there's little splatters on there now. I'm going to do the same thing with my Darling Duckling. And this would eventually ruin your marker if you did it all the time. But I do it quite often, and my marker tips are still very, very nice. So don't be afraid to do this on your cards. And then I'm going to add some Night of Navy just for a contrast. And let's see how those spots come out on here. They're not as dark as I thought they might be, but they are on there, guys. So I'm going to hold this up and hopefully you can see. There is now some orange splatters, some yellow ones, and some blues on there. Just kind of softens that white area of this because it is watercolor so that it's not so stark. And then we are going to layer this. So let me grab the rest of the pieces of my card here. And to wipe this up, I just used a damp Kleenex. That's all it was. So that's super simple. So here is our envelope. I'll stamp on there in a minute. And the inside of our card, and I'm going to stamp on there in a minute. We have 2 pieces of ribbon for a bow. But this is my piece of Timid Tiger. And I'm going to add this basic white watercolor layer that is now dry, a little warped, but it is dry. We're going to add that. I'm going to do seal all around the edge, trying to get right up to the edge if I can, as close as I can, because I want this to lay down pretty flat on my card. It's a watercolor image. It is what it is, but we want it pretty flat on there. And I'm also going to go right down the middle of it too to kind of pull that center down. And we're going to put this onto our piece of Timid Tiger, and this is 3 inches by 4 1/4. So it's just a 1/4 inch larger than my basic white layer was. Let's see if I can get this on here. Pretty nice and flat and firm. Aha, nicely done. There we go. So I think that really makes that pop. Now the next thing we're going to do is I have a piece of strawberry slush. This is 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4. And I am going to take a piece of my iridescent ribbon. Now let me show you this ribbon. It is gorgeous. It was one of my favorites. It shimmers and shines, and it's on the last chance list. And I just looked before coming on. It's still there. It's reduced from $8.50 to $5.95. Remember, things on the last chance list are only there while they want to be. Stampin' Up! Can remove them at any time. In fact, we had an item. Let me see what it was. It was the corrugated embossing folder that they ran out of and decided not even to move to the last chance list. They just discontinued it because they were out of their stock and decided they weren't going to reorder. And that is their prerogative. It's their business. Sad for me because I loved that, but it is gone. So if there's items you want, get out there and get them, guys. And tomorrow with free shipping is the day to do it. So we're using this iridescent ribbon. I am going to place this down onto my card front here, and I'm actually going to take my seal and put in the middle here, if I can, just a line to hold that on there so it stays down, because it is a wider ribbon with a little bit of ruffle to it. Not a ton, but I want that to stay pretty flat onto my card. And then on the back, I'm going to add some seal and just pull that around and stick it down. Okay, so there is that layer. And then I want to tie a bow on the end here. So the easiest way for me to do that is to stick it down onto my card first, which might seem not easy, but I left this end open with no glue on it so I can slide my ribbon underneath it. So let's come in here. I'm going to kind of go right over that ribbon again. It's pretty thin, so you can do that. If you didn't want to do that, you could use the extra sticky tear and tape, and that would work too. I do that a lot. But this is thin, and the glue goes right through, so this is going to work. I'm going to place this onto a base of Night of Navy. This is an A2 base, so it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm turning it horizontal. And we're going to take our strawberry slush and center it onto the front of here. Now I did my first prototype with Secret Sea as my background, and that was very pretty too. But all the colors I'm using are pretty bright, and I was just thinking that the Night of Navy might brighten it up a little bit. It looks like I got that slightly crooked. Maybe it's cut slightly crooked, so we'll just do that. Okay, so there it is, strawberry slush on Night of Navy. And I do like the way they go together. I think that is a very cool look. So then we're going to tie our bow. I'm going to take my piece of ribbon. So my first piece of ribbon that I wrapped around here was about 7 inches. This one here that I'm going to tie my bow with is about 9 inches. And we're just going to come in here and tie a knot and pull it all the way over to the edge if I can here. Okay, so my knot is on the very edge of this strawberry slush. I'm going to take my loop, wrap this around, and loop it back through and pull it for my bow. Now, this bow is bigger than I want, so I'm going to manipulate it because I want a tiny, tiny little bow. So this might take a little manipulation, but I don't want it to be huge. So I'm going to pull that back again, pull this tail back again, maybe even a little bit more. That's getting close. Pull it one more time, and let's do that one more time. So when you're making your bows, just keep pulling them and tightening them until you get your bow the size that you want. And that is about it right there. Look at that. And then I'm going to take my snips and we're going to trim that down so the tails are not so long. Just so they're a little long. All right, so there is our card front for our card. Now we're going to add our focal point that knows with that bow kind of coming up over it on the side there. And by doing it all the way to the edge, I can center this on here and still have that bow sticking out. So that was why I went that route. Let's grab some dimensionals. And I want a few of them on here. I want this to stand up nicely on my card. So I'm going to do one in each corner. And then let's do a couple more just in a little bit on the sides here to hold that up on our card. All right. And we are going to place this on here. I'm going to make sure it's pretty centered, and once I get it where I want it, push down on those dimensionals. Isn't that pretty? And doesn't that look like a watercolored image? I just think it is just lovely and so simple. You can't go wrong with it. So let's play with the inside of our card and our envelope, because I'm going to stamp them a little bit here. So I'm going to grab my strawberry slush flower. And we're going to come down on the inside. So the inside of this card is 3.5 inches by 5 inches. That's the way I cut them now, because then I can get 5 of them out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So I'm going to add that there. And then come in here on my envelope. Make sure I have the right corner down here. I'm going to add that down here in the corner, just like that. Now you could put as much or as little as you want on this part of the card, but I am going to not put a lot. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. So let me grab my, where's my Timid Tiger, guys? Oh, it ran way over to the other side of my desk. I'm going to grab my Timid Tiger, and I'm not going to watercolor these. For one thing, on the envelope, it would just kind of seep through if I watercolored it. And on the inside, I want this to lay down flat to write on. So you're going to see the same type of image, but it won't be watercolored on these two sections, and that's totally fine. And then I'm going to grab my Shy Shamrock one more time, and we're going to add some leaves to these pretty, pretty little flowers. Let's put one kind of off the edge here. Wipe up that green. Not that my thumb is already green, it doesn't really matter, right? We'll put one more right here like that. And maybe one coming off the bottom. Okay, so there's our flower for the center of our card. I'm going to do a similar thing on my envelope. And just place a leaf here. And one up here on the edge. And then one more. What kind of angle? Maybe at that angle, just like that. And then I'm going to add my word thanks to the front of this envelope. You don't have to, but I really love the way this word thanks looks. I love the script of it. And this person will know they're being thanked as soon as they receive this in the mail. So there we go. Thanks. Just like that. Okay, almost done, guys. We are almost done. Let's take this piece and add some seal to the corners. Oh, it looks like my seal might be running. You could also put that up in the top corner if you wanted. Either one would work, but I'm going to put it down here in the bottom corner. I'm going to center this. Now, because this is a little bit different than my normal layers, now that I make 5 out of a card, you are going to get a little bit more border on 2 sides than you are on the other 2, and it's going to show more of your color behind it, but I think that is actually beautiful, and there's still plenty of room to write your sentiment onto here. And then the last thing we need to do is add our bling, because no card is complete without bling. So let's see what color I want to use on here. I could use the yellow, I could use the deep blue, I could use the orange. I think I am going to use the Timid Tiger because I don't have as much of that on the card. It's just the centers of the flowers. So let's go with that and see what we think. We can place one up here above the thanks. And it's not right on top of my dimensional, it's off to the side. And then we'll place our other 2 down here. Same thing, they are not directly on top of a dimensional. They are between the dimensionals, and that way when this goes through the mail and it gets pushed down a little bit, the dimensionals will kind of protect those from getting ripped off of your card, which I don't usually really have a problem with. A lot of times I'll put a little protector over them, but even if I don't, most cards come through fine. Every now and then, you never know, it can happen, but that is my story. So the in color gems that we're using here are the 2527 flat pearls. They come in the 5 current in colors: the Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Strawberry Slush. And so they're beautiful, beautiful colors. I love the gems because they're very nice and flat. And there is our card today, guys. What do you think? And I'm going to show you 2 other examples, like I said. This is the card I'm giving away, and I will bring out the recipe in just a minute. The prototype I made, because I try to always make one ahead and try it out, was this one. And this is exactly the same card, but you can see how it looks different every time you do it. Exactly the same layout. The only difference really on this card is that I used Secret Sea for my background, which to me was just a little dull with the Strawberry Slush. I think the Night of Navy brightens it a lot. And then I used Secret Sea gems on this one rather than the Timid Tiger. They're both beautiful, but this is the one I'm giving away today. And then the other card, the very first one I made like this, with this full watercoloring, when I was playing with it this week, was this card here. And I love it. This is using the Textured Notes set and dies. And I did the watercolor, full watercolor here on the back, and then kind of framed it in using the dies, and then added a non-watercolored leaf here in the front. So I didn't go over these like I did with flowers. Instead, I added this here. But again, another sample of that faux watercolor look and how it can look on a card. I have had a lot of fun playing with this, and you can see how easy it is, all out, especially on my glass mat. All I need is a Kleenex to wipe up that ink. So loved, loved, loved all of these when I made them. Tons of fun. This is the one I am giving away. Let me move this out of the way and grab the instructions. So thank you for being here with me today. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you can. I will also place this in the comments of this video at some point today. I just hope that you had a good time with me. I had a good time with you. Finally, I would love to have your business. If you're looking for Stampin' Up! Products, if you have questions, please contact me. You can email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com anytime you want, and I will get back to you. Or you can leave comments here too, and I will answer them. I am here to help you guys. I want paper crafting and stamping to be fun for you. And I know it can be frustrating sometimes when you don't have all the answers. So please contact me. I do plan to be back here on Friday, hopefully at my regular 10:30 a.m. slot. We will see how the day goes. But that is my plan at this very moment. Until then, have a great day and have a great week. And I plan to see you on Friday. Bye-bye.